the next 50 days, I'm going to be living on this deserted island with no one to keep me company, as I try to survive Minecraft's Loneliest challenge. I managed to do some pretty cool things with my limited resources, so make sure you stick around for the whole video to see how I got there. Anyway, let's get started. On the first day, I explored my little island, a couple of cats, and a house with nothing in it but clay and a stone cutter. After that, I broke my fist punching down the only tree I have, made a pickaxe, and got started on a pit down to the bottom of the earth. I then spent the rest of the day trying to tame a cat. Be my friend? Be my friend? Please? Please? It was a long process. Fuck! But eventually I got myself a feline friend. Right, kitty cat, you're gonna defend my house against the green meanies. On day 2, I domesticated another wild animal and continued working on the pit. I could really do with getting a little bit of iron. Oh, there we go. I then spent the rest of the day avoiding the undead Olympic swimming team whilst trying to mine some underwater coal. On day 3, I finally got myself an iron pickaxe and a bit of armor for protection, and then finished my pit to the center of the earth. I then immediately found some diamonds. Oh my god, finally. But not enough for a pickaxe, so I dug further into the crust of the earth with only a few minor heart attacks. No. After that, I found the last diamond I needed for a pick and headed home after a relatively successful day of mining. On day 4, a sheep decided to spawn on my island, so I got some wool and made a bed before going into the pit for a few days to get some resources. I found plenty of iron, dealt with plenty of mobs, but only got a couple of diamonds. However, I did find myself a dungeon. A saddle? Some pumpkin seeds? This isn't very good at all, actually. On day 4, I started extending the island, but tragedy struck when one of my cats got stuck under the bridge I was building. What's happening? Why is my cat dying? No! This was really rough, but the loss of my beloved creeper repellent number 1 motivated me to finish off the next branch of my island. So I cleared out as much dirt as I could from underneath the island and used that to fill a second island. And by the end of day 10, I had finally completed a tree farm dedicated to the memory of my fallen comrade. For the next couple of days, I did some mining to stock up on resources and only had a few brushes with death. And then for a few days after that, I worked on a new house. I didn't want anything too complicated, just somewhere I could sleep and store items, whilst also fitting the island theme. It wasn't the easiest build I've ever done, given the lack of options in terms of blocks, but I'd say it went pretty well, in spite of a few zombie outbreaks. Alright, MTV Cribs house tour. Let's have a look at this shit. So this is the entrance, chests for storage. We've got a nice ocean view. And then upstairs, we have a bed. This took me 11 days to build. On day 23, I started a new branch of the island for me to build a portal frame. But I seemingly made a miscalculation. Uh-oh, I made a fucky wucky. You see, I only had 10 blocks of obsidian, but I decided to make my frame 3 blocks long, which means I needed 12 blocks of obsidian. So I went back down into the pit to get some obsidian and finally completed my portal frame. On day 26, I made my way into the nether, avoided a hoglin, and immediately found a nether fortress. Oh shit. Well, that was easy. I then got destroyed by a pair of blazes, so I thought I should probably go back and make a shield. I then returned with a vengeance. I found some chests with some really good loot, got myself some blaze rods, but after a few too many close calls, I thought it'd be wise to head back home for a while. On day 28, I decided to build a fishing dock. This is because I didn't have any way of getting books on my island, so my plan is to fish for an enchantment book, disenchant it, then craft an enchantment table. How many times did I just say enchant? While I was fishing, I felt this weird sense of peace, as if I'd suddenly remembered what made Minecraft fun again. It was never about the action-packed fights or the hours collecting resources and building. It was the moments in between, when you get to think about where you started and how far you've come. Anyway, enough of that. I have work to do. By the end of day 30, I was starting to lose hope, but suddenly, out of the ocean, I fished out quite possibly the most overpowered fishing rod in the game. Hope was restored, and before long, I was up to my neck in enchantment books. The problem was, the books were too valuable to disenchant. I eventually got a loyalty 3 book, which I didn't particularly need, so I got to the grindstone and finally crafted an enchantment table. On day 32, I started building an enchantment island. Unfortunately, I had no way of getting level 30 enchantments as I didn't have the resources to make bookshelves. themselves. However, the low level enchantment should be enough to keep me alive for now. On day 37, I decided my next goal was to get netherite armor, but in order to do that, I needed the netherite smithing template, which are very rare. Luckily, you can duplicate them by putting them in a crafting table with 7 diamonds and a piece of netherrack, which means I'm gonna need a lot more diamonds. So I jumped right back into the pit, and many pickaxes later, I had successfully acquired enough diamonds to create the smithing templates. Now all I needed to do was find a smithing template. On day 40, I ventured into the nether in search of a bastion, as this is where the netherite smithing templates are found. I expertly avoided as many mobs as I could. Oh no. Oh, no. And eventually found myself in a bastion. I searched the place thoroughly, but I couldn't find what I needed, although I did find a little bit of treasure. Oh no, I didn't realise that that'd make you aggressive. I got back on the road again, dealt with some ghasts, and finally found another bastion. I plunged into the depths of the remnant and found what I needed. Let's go! Oh shit. Oh shit, oh fuck, oh god. I'd gotten myself into a bit of a predicament, but I managed to sneak out of my makeshift hiding spot and nabbed the template. As I continued exploring, I found myself another smithing template, as well as some other goodies, and made my way back home. We have 2 diamond pickaxes, 2 netherite smithing templates, 1 armor trim, lots of gold, a block of iron, gilded blackstone, and a piece of ancient debris. I'd say that's a pretty good haul. On day 44, I started the hunt for ancient debris. There are a couple of methods of finding these rare scraps. There's the traditional way, and then there's the explosive way. I opted for the latter. I mean, continually setting myself on fire might not be the best idea, but it's working. After mining for a while, I decided to go back home and upgrade my pickaxe and got straight back into the hellhole. While I was down there, I realised the clock was ticking and the challenge was almost over. I was proud of how far I'd come, but I wasn't sure if I was ready to be finished with this world. A few days had passed and I had enough ancient debris for a full set of armour, so I headed home for the final time. On day 49, I started smelting my ancient debris and finally put a name tag on my cat I've had since day 2. I then took Ginger out on the dock for a while and did a bit of fishing. I realised I had completely lost track of time and noticed that the sun was about to go down. So I hastily went back to my base and crafted my netherite armour. I also made a netherite sword, and by the end of it, I was looking pretty fresh. As my final day dawned, I crafted a boat and took to the sea in search of something greater. This video took a long time to make, so if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when I next upload. And who knows, if I had another 50 days, maybe I could do something really cool. Anyway, thanks for watching. 30 likes and I'll make a part 2.